Hello guys, Chris here and welcome back to another video. In this one, my friends, I'm going to be testing a GeForce RTX 3070 in Call of Duty Warzone 2. This one is the EVGA XC3 Ultra version of the card. We are running it with the latest Nvidia drivers and I'm not manually overclocking it. You can see all of its specs right here. Intact power-ups, GPU 0, accessible bar is also enabled. And finally, over on the left, we're pairing it with the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D and 32GB of RAM, 3600MHz in dual channel, CL14, DDR4 of course. Let's get right into it now, shall we? First up, let's go over the settings. I'm playing at 1080p and we're also going to test 1440p and 4K in this video. FPS are set to unlimited right here, as you can see. And yes, I am using 60Hz because of the capture card. For some reason, the capture card can't really do more than that in this particular game, which is very weird. Anyways, on the quality settings, we're using the minimum settings preset with normal textures. That's to max out performance, basically. Competitive players will probably play using these settings. And then later on into the video, I will play using like the high settings as well. All right, here we go. I just dropped, my friends. Oh boy, okay, we got a deagle and a decent weapon right here. Let's start counting our FPS and armor up. Here we go. Some people dropped with us. We got, what is this? Armor, though? Why would it be armor, dude? This is an airstrike, I think. Okay, I'm gonna try to spot somebody here and throw it open. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Alright, so you can see that dropping into the water, we get 130s. That's very good, but you know, it's still 1080p resolution. For an RTX 3070, I was expecting a little bit better in the water, but the water is the most intensive thing in this entire game. That's why I tested here in the Zarqwa Hydroelectric. Also, notice that the GPU usage is not maxed out. That is because the game is completely broken this season, guys. I have been waiting for them to release a patch or something to fix the GPU utilization issues here, but they haven't done it yet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and test it anyways. We're gonna be less CPU bound at higher resolutions. I don't think we will be CPU bound at 1440p low settings. So let's roll with that. But I was initially gonna test the RTX 4070, which is a lot stronger than this one, of course, and I was seeing around the same FPS with way lower GPU usage, and that's just due to the game being broken, basically, my friends. I don't know what they've done with it. It's just stupid as heck. This CPU used to get 100 more frames per second than what it's getting right now. Oh boy, what is happening? There's a guy. Oh, hello? Hello? They're fighting each other inside of there. I don't want to go there. You know, I usually die a lot in this game, so let's try to avoid people. All right? That's the best course of action, for sure. But as I was saying, I used to get like 220, 230 frames per second on average with the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D, and now it's only good for around 140. That's almost a 100 FPS drop just by moving to a new season. And the map is the same. And no matter what CPU I'm using, it seems to be the same. Like the i5-13600K system that I got back there also got a huge drop in performance by like 80 frames. I was getting 180. Yes, the 5800X 3D is faster in this game than the 13600K overclock to 5.6 GHz. It's crazy. But hey, it seems to be a game issue, nothing related to the hardware. If you're seeing way less FPS, the game is broken. Anyways, let's play at 1440p right now. 2560 by 1440 is now applied. Still using the exact same settings. 8GB is still very much enough for medium textures at this resolution. Although we are seeing the VRAM going up like to 7.2GB right now. That's just because this game tends to utilize all of the VRAM you got. Even when I tested the RTX 4090 in Call of Duty... Oh, there's a guy right there, right? In Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is the multiplayer part of the Warzone 2, like, you know what it is, right? I don't need to explain that. That game was using up to like 22GB of VRAM. And Warzone 1 as well on the 4090. So, yeah, it's just how these games work. It's not that it actually needs 24GB of VRAM to work. But yeah, it will always utilize a ton of VRAM. Alright, there's a guy over there dropping with a parachute. Maybe it's the guy who's hunting us, I don't know, because he keeps getting closer and closer. I don't like it. Just gonna go now. They got UAVs as well. I really don't like this. Anyway, water area, most intensive part, okay, and it's dropping into the 90s right now. So if you have an RTX 3070 and something like the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D, which is capable of getting the most out of it here at 1440p, even this season, when it's broken as heck, you can rest assured it's going to be a really good experience. High refresh rate. You know, it's 120 FPS, so we can call it high refresh rate for sure. 1% lows are really low there, but it's just because we got some really tiny fluctuations in the frame time graph, which are not noticeable whatsoever when you're playing the game. So rest assured, it's gonna be completely fine and completely buttery smooth right now. Now that we aren't really looking at any water whatsoever, it can go up to like 140 frames. And it's another thing, if you are seeing way higher FPS with your RTX 3070 in this game, it's probably because you're just in a different area. I test it right here because it's where I find it to be more intensive. I'm gonna chill here and try to change the settings now, right? So it is very, very good like this. I don't really feel the need to use DLSS, but let's try it anyways. Some people do like the look of DLSS a little bit better. Oh, the sharpening, the minimum sharpening is 50. That's interesting. We all know that the 69 sharpness is the best. So I'm gonna set it to that. It just kind of looks like we got some anti-aliasing applied. The DLSS implementation in this game is not good. It's one of the worst that I've seen actually in most games. You can get a few more FPS, as you can see, like 150s right now. That's pretty good, and of course in the water we're gonna see a lot more FPS because that's where we were more GPU bound. So now we're up into the 120s. That's pretty nice. I'm gonna go back to the other water because this one is slightly more intensive. Ooh, can we jump from here? Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's try to do that. Ooh, do I want this weapon? I guess so. Okay, let's try to go with that. Let's go, please don't die. Okay, let's open the parachute. Dropping into the 110s, basically. 115 plus is what you should get all of the time here using these settings. Again, I would prefer the native resolution with SMA82X on very low, because it actually looks a little bit sharper, and you might be capable of spotting people at the distance better using native res than DLSS in this game. There are a few games where DLSS can look better than native res. This is definitely not one of them. Alright, what to do now? What to do? Maybe take a thumbnail? Yeah? Oh, there's a guy right there. Oh, wait. What is he doing? I saw him doing like this, you know? Maybe it's not a cheater. I'm not gonna jump into any conclusions, but I hear this game is full of them. Oh, are they shooting at me? I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna hide behind my bed. Oh, yes. And let's stop it there. 144 FPS on average is what we get with DLSS enabled. It's pretty smooth. It was already really smooth previously. But yeah, if you require those extra frames, well, you can have them here with DLSS. Now we're up to 3840 by 2160 without DLSS. Step, you freaking bastard! I was changing the settings. How did you know I was there? Now we're in the gulag. We're probably gonna die in the gulag, and well, I'm probably gonna have to join another one. And it's very annoying to join another match here in Call of Duty Warzone 2 because it takes like 5 minutes, and I'm in Europe. It's not like I'm in Oceania or something. There we go. Oh, nice. I really want to drop in the water. Wait a second. There we go. Okay, 60s. 65. Doesn't seem to be dropping from 60 FPS, which is quite nice. Near water. That means that, again, outside of the water, it's going to get way higher frames. And that's pretty good. For 4K. Bastard, it actually stuttered a little bit there. Hey, at least it's not going as bad as the GTX 1080 Ti video that I made recently, like a month ago or so. I swore to not come back to this game after that video was done, guys. It was just awful, man. I just hated it so much. It took me like 4 hours or something like that, 3 or 4 hours to record a 20-minute video because I was always dying. You can see that frame time graph now is a lot worse, and I can sort of see a little bit of stuttering happening at these lower frame rates. So I suggest you to lock your FPS if you're playing at near 60 frames per second. Just lock it to 60 frames and it's gonna feel buttery smooth and get rid of those stuttering issues. I'm not gonna do that because this is a benchmark video. I'm not gonna cap the GPU performance because otherwise we don't really know what it's capable of, right? Did it drop from 60 FPS near the water? I didn't really pay too much attention. Oh, it's dropping a little bit, yeah, into the 50s at times. Still, it's only in the water. If you avoid water altogether, it should be fine. Like, if I stand here looking at the water, shooting some guy over there, for example, it gets 70s and 60s. It's just that if you really go inside of the water, it's gonna lower it down for a little bit. But it's not too bad. Over here near vegetation, it also drops slightly from 70 frames per second, but not from 60. So, yeah, I'll say that the 3070 is doing a great job here at 4K, actually. Of course, enabling DLSS on quality will bump up our FPS by a little bit whenever it applies. There we go. We're getting 80s instead of 60s and 70s now. That can feel a lot smoother. Once again, now you can lock the FPS to like 75 for a 75 Hz experience, for example. And, yeah, even touching 100 frames per second. Maybe play without a frame rate lock. You know, this is quite nice right now. 90s. Yeah. Again, guys, the DLSS in this game doesn't really look anything special. Even at 4K, you can tell a bit of the over-sharpening and stuff like that. Somebody shot at us? I think so. Ooh, slow off stuttering there. But yeah. It's okay. At 4K, it's more than passable, actually. I would probably end up enabling it with the RTX 3070. 3070. It's just too many numbers, my friends, okay? But yeah, it's not too bad, right? It's never going to drop from 60 FPS now with these settings that we're utilizing. Alright guys, we're back to it in a new game. I just restarted the game to apply the high settings, or ultra settings actually. It's the ultra settings preset. And I gotta make a couple of changes. Some things are still super blurry here because there are a few settings that you need to change to make it a little bit crispier. I'm playing at 1080p again using the ultra settings preset as I told you. First things first, I'm gonna set it to SMA82X here under the NTA listing. On low, this actually takes care of the blurriness that you see coming from Filmic SMA82X. It's really awful in my opinion. And down here, I'll disable depth of field. That also contributes a lot to the very soft looking visuals and just ugly graphics in general. It doesn't know what to blur sometimes when using depth of field. I think now we should be fully GPU bound at 1080p because, you know, we're using the ultra settings. Wait a second, where's the bastard? Where's the bastard? What? Hello? What is this one doing here? What the hell is happening, dude? No, don't you do this to me. Don't you do this to me. Oh my god, this is bad. Don't stop shooting me through the freaking door. No, stop it. Oh, we're alive. We're alive. We're 1 HP. We're 1 HP, but we are alive. We lived. Did I hear something? No, probably my own steps. Okay. I'm seeing those weird dots, like, what is that? What are those graphics on the gun? That is freaking terrible, dude. Oh my god, dude, are you kidding me? Alright, wait a second, maybe we gotta set it to, like, high over here. No, it doesn't work. It's still super dotty. Let's call it dotty, okay? If I set it to Filmic, it takes care of it slightly, but now it's really blurry. Oh my god, it's so terrible looking, this game sometimes. It looked better on low, guys. Okay, let's move on now. This is Filmic SMAA T2X with the ultra quality setting. We really need to find some armor now, because otherwise I will instantly die. I heard somebody. I heard somebody coming up of the window. There we go. Wait. No! No! I missed the freaking flick, dude. I can't believe it. All right, let's try this again. Oh, we still got the gulag. That's right. Okay, so in case you're wondering, inside of the gulag, you're getting 130s. Okay? With these FPS, a little bit higher, obviously, than what we saw previously. There we go, nice. We got another one. See, 1v1ing is fine. Now we're far away from Zarqwa, but I think we should be able to get there in just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and first of all, let's restart counting the FPS. What is happening? Oh, it's server lag. That's why we died. All right. Oh my God, what the f... Gotta love Warzone 2, my friends. Whenever you're not dying, you're in a buggy server. Oh yes, I really want to show you this. Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. Quickly gonna enable depth of field just so you see what horrible things it does. Like, what the f... What? Does that look good to you? Like, what's in focus? A single frame in the gun? Like, what the hell? It's just freaking weird, my friends. Hello, Crispa. How's it going for the 4th time today or so? What you don't know is that I cut some parts out of these videos when I die instantly, you know? Here we go. We got one there, another one, another... Oh, like 4 or 5 people dropping around here. Should be fine. It should be fine, especially given the fact that we got a very good weapon right away. The Glock. The freaking Glock. Okay, now we're fully GPU bound. Ooh, I hear shots already. 80 something frames per second near the water, guys. And these are the ultra settings, by the way, not the extreme settings. There is still a preset above ultra in this game. Going here. See the FPS around 100 is what we get. In other areas, it can go up to like 120, 130 frames per second. But in this area in particular, which is very, very intensive, as you know already, yeah, it gets around 100 frames, which is not bad, but I actually thought it would do a little bit better than this. So in this case, I would probably actually use the DLSS because it looks better than the blurry filmic stuff, and it has a little bit less noise, you know, than the SMA82X native, and you get more FPS on top of that. Although the implementation of DLSS, especially at 1080p, is very questionable, at least it looks better than the freaking anti-aliasing that they got going on here. I wish we could have the days of actually decent native resolution looks and decent AA, like MSAA. Yes, MSAA is super intensive, but you had the option to use like FXAA, for example, or not use anything, and games still looked great. These days, a ton of newer titles just don't even have the option to run native res without freaking TAA blurring everything. Also, underwater, if you're wondering, it doesn't really drop your FPS like crazy. And finally, around here, 115, 110 might be the minimum. 109 there. Yeah, it's alright, guys. It's more of a high refresh rate experience now, but again, if you want those FPS, if you want that competitive advantage, you will want to play on low. Why that little pattern with the dots? I don't get it. It doesn't look good. Oh boy. Alright, let's turn this off and play at 1440p. Here we go. 2560 by 1440 using the exact same settings right now. Filmic SMAA, no DLSS first. I hear somebody. They might have a freaking UAV, they always do! They always do! Alright, now with all of that ambient occlusion and stuff, it's actually looking pretty decent at 1440. Whoa, 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 where is it? Whoa! Calm down, boy! Water time, water time. Wait, this is actually a decent thumbnail here, maybe. Yeah, nice. Okay, let's keep on going. Getting down into the 60s. With the 3070, I thought it was going to be a little bit better than that. We're here, chafurdar a little bit into the water. That's a Portuguese word for in the water. Oh, damn it. I'm screwed. Oh, please. Okay, breathe. Get down there again. Hopefully they will fight each other and I can go. Oh my god, I am so screwed now. I don't really care much about other people in this game. I just don't like to see them at all. No! Anyway, that's it for 1440p. Let's enable DLSS now, because we actually do need it a little bit here at 1440. And given what we saw at 1080p, that's a really nice weapon. No wonder I died. Alright, here we go again. Here we go again. Let's start counting those frames. 100 FPS now, dropping into the water, we get 80. So we're getting, what, like 20 more FPS than we did at native resolution. And the visuals, well, it's a little bit noisier once again, especially around the water. I can see ghosting now. What the hell? Like, how does that even happen? Over here it doesn't, it's only in the water. Oh my gosh, what kind of DLSS implementation are they using in this game, and why is it such an old version of it? What the heck? It also took them a really long time to update the game to FSR 2.1 instead of FSR 1.0, because it came out with 1.0. Alright, anyways, it's getting around 100 FPS now. If you value visuals over performance, you might want to go for native resolution. I wish we had a UAV now. I can feel them running around us, my friends. It's very scary. Alright, going out over here. Oh, of course we're being tracked. There are 130 people inside of this server, and I am the one being tracked. The game just wants to... Well, we still get the gulag left, my friends. Here we go, 130 frames. Here's the bastard. There it is. There we go. I won every single gulag in this video, guys. How is it possible that I'm always dying inside of the game? I can't do anything inside of the game. There we go. And I guess... Oh, now we're stuck with the freaking PP Bison and this handgun right here. It looks kind of cool, actually, with a little... Oh, there is also a golden trigger. Wait a second. I really need a thumbnail with this weapon. There we go. That's a beautiful one. Oh, yes. Lovely. I like this weapon. Oh, I think I saw a red laser. Yes. Yes. Yeah, okay. It's a red laser. I knew it. I knew it. Stop it. Oh, I shouldn't have shot the freaking handgun there. Now, I also need to change the resolution to 4K. It's time right now. Although I really don't recommend you to play at 4K, so we're not going to spend a lot of time here playing at that res and ultra settings. You know, there's no point with the 3070. If you're playing at 4K, go for low settings. Here we go, 3840 by 2160. Let's turn off the DLSS first, just to see what it's capable of at native res. And it's capable of 40 frames per second. A lot of people would probably say it's not too bad, and it wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for that horrible frame time graph, which makes it feel like, what, 25? It feels like half of the frame rate that we're getting right now. It doesn't feel like 40 whatsoever. Like, I could play Cyberpunk, for example, with 40 frames, not this. Oh, yeah. First of all, it's a first-person shooter, competitive one. Second, it's... Ah! Bastards! Alright, guys. Alright, that was a bit of a fun experience there, wall-banging the guy a little bit through the door. Yeah, I wonder why he stood still there. Probably need like DLSS on balanced to play the game well at 4K resolution, right? Okay. Oh boy, getting to this part of the map, it actually does drop into the 50s. Only slightly though. So performance DLSS would definitely give us 60 plus all of the time. Balanced DLSS gives us 60 plus like 98 to 97% of the time or something like that. I think it's still pretty decent, you know. It's not bad for a 3070. I was thinking it was gonna perform a lot lower or slower than this, you know, in terms of FPS on average. Yeah, not bad. Once again, if you lock the FPS to 60, it would be a pretty nice experience. I think that's been it for this one, my friends. Thank you very much for watching. We got 60 plus, once again, all of the time, aside from when we dropped into that other water. I didn't think I would say this, but it is actually solid at 4K. So there's that. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.